The Senate Select Committee had the opportunity to scan through the storm that had torn through the Meru County Assembly that was all out in ousting the county governor Kawira Mwangaza.
We are urging you, Chair, to consider whether indeed, given the gravity of the evidence we placed before you, whether we actually haven't taken too long to come before the Senate. And our case will be that it is not too early. We have actually taken too long. We would have arrived much earlier. All these problems are because she's a woman. You know, if she wasn't a woman, she would not be subjected to all these problems. Chair will be inviting you to ask yourself, if that were true, how come all the women MCAs voted to impeach her? She cannot be the only woman in the government of Meru who understands gender issues. Is it possible? And of course, we know the Senate must make its own independent decision, and this is not an insult to the Senate, but is it possible that all these MCAs are misguided and all they have is misconceived? They don't know what is a gross violation of the law. They have imagined all these things. They actually didn't take place. We will ask you very humbly to reflect on.
On the 26th of August 2022, Mwangaza was all bright as she assumed the office as Meru County Governor. And on the 27th of December, she was in the National Senate corridors defending her stay in office.
Public vilification, incitement, and humiliation rallies against the Catholic Church and the Catholic clergy, and D, inciting the public against members of the Assembly and other elected leaders while knowing that such conduct can easily trigger violent reactions and cause serious breaches of the peace. Honorable Governor, for first charge, you plead guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Charge number 2, incitement, bullying, vilification, and misleading campaigns against other leaders.
Not guilty.
Not yet?
Not guilty.
Governor?
Video evidence as well as witnesses from the county assembly took the stand after Mwangaza denied all the 5 allegations leveled against her, with Abogeta West MCA Dennis Kiogora, who filed the impeachment motion, being the first.
By a majority votes, the closest contestant garnered less than 100,000 votes next to the governor. Surely that means that the governor was voted in overwhelmingly, showing that indeed the entire house was not impartial. Before the proceedings, they all donned in uniform, chanted war cries, and promised to impeach the governor even before the mover of the motion had been given a chance to debate the motion. Her Excellency, the Governor of Meru, has been a victim of the danger of one story and outright false narrative. As soon as should be celebrated for standing against capture of Meru County by the County Assembly. Because impeachment, honorable members, should not be a political weapon. It is only provided for as an oversight tool. That is not what happened. On behalf of the governor, honorable members, we will show you that the purported public participation was a sham. Indeed, the members of public have not approved the proceedings before you. It is the County Assembly of Meru and the mover of this motion that usurped the role of the public and purported to give views on behalf of the public. That will come out clear during these proceedings.
Mwangaza's defense team put a spirited fight against the 5 charges leveled against her by the County Assembly, saying she is a victim of blackmail.
Mutuma and company advocates, they wrote to the Speaker of the Senate. And from what we are hearing, they have not challenged our jurisdiction. So since they are not challenging our jurisdiction, we shouldn't go there. You don't have to really burden yourself with that. If it was an issue, you would have challenged the jurisdiction of this sitting. It means they respect this sitting. That's why they are here. Let us discharge.
The embattled Meru governor is accused of gross misconduct, abuse of power, nepotism, illegal appointments, incitement, bullying, vilification, and misleading campaigns against the Catholic Church and other leaders.
Said that the governor has violated the Public Finance Management Act.
Yes.
Has the governor expended any money without the approval of the county assembly?
No.
Has he expended any money without a budget?
No.
Has the county lost any money?
None that I'm aware of.
None that you're aware of?
Yes.
Has she paid any ghost worker who is not on the payroll, to the best of your knowledge?
I'm not aware.
Was there any order barring the assembly from proceeding with that second impeachment? Number two, is it your position that you cannot in fact violate the law by pronouncement? Is that the position that you want to give us, that you can in fact not violate the law by a mere pronouncement?
Perez.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the council has said that sometimes the utterances of the governor are emotional and passionate, but later retreats to seek legal and technical advice. Chair, I don't know whether the the council can clarify whether the governor understands that it should be the other way around. I'm not giving an opinion, but I think he needs to clarify that.
Thank you.
Whether that's the ideal situation.
Tangwa.
Was coming up, all of you dressed in uniforms, black ties, white shirts, and red ties, and black suits. Is that correct?
That's how the members were dressed with parliamentary attire.
Mwangaza's fate now lies with the Senate, which is expected to uphold or overturn the ouster. The 11-member committee will determine whether accusations against her warrant an impeachment before delivering its verdict on the December the 30th, 2022.
For governor, it appeals to the leadership skills of the governor. One of them, the governor is required to promote the competitiveness of his county. His county must shine, and can only shine through her charisma and how she speaks often about her county. She must promote democracy within the county, and that's an edict of the law. So the fact that the governor is the chief of executive officer of the county does not in itself mean she cannot make a political statement.
Are you suggesting that the political statements are not subject to any accountability metrics under those two provisions of law that are quoted?
The governor will have a chance to defend her stay in office tomorrow, facing her second impeachment attempt within a record 4 months in office after the Meru High Court suspended an earlier motion against her for not following proper procedure.
In advertising for this motion, you put out radio adverts and newspaper adverts.
Yes.
In your target audience, how many read newspapers? In your estimation, in terms of percentage?
I don't have that statistic, so I'll be lying
you
if I give any
so
number.
You have opinions, Mr. DMK. How many?
How can you tell how many people read newspapers?
Tell. Did you advertise that motion in any formal gathering like a church?
The motion was advertised on newspapers and radio.
No.
A formal gathering like a church?
Did you advertise in the church?
No.
No. Did you sponsor a road show to advertise the motion?
No.
Did you understand the implications of this motion to overturn a whole election of a governor simply because she was undesirable to you?
I understand the implications.
Siku ya leo tunampatia kazi ambayo haina malipo na haina marupurupu.